Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real, something that might shake the room a little. Men don't value a woman for 100 things. They value her for 3 qualities. And let me be honest, these qualities are becoming extremely rare. Not because women don't want to have them, but because the world keeps teaching them the wrong things to focus on. Men don't value a woman for everything she has. They value the right qualities. And one of the most important is loyalty. You see, everyone talks about love, passion, chemistry, but loyalty is the foundation that holds everything together. A loyal woman doesn't just say, "I'm here for you." She proves it through her actions. Loyalty means staying when times get tough, believing in him when he doubts himself, and not allowing temporary feelings to destroy a permanent bond. In today's world, loyalty has become rare because many people are quick to replace rather than repair. People give up faster than they fall in love. So when a man meets a woman whose loyalty is strong, he knows she is not ordinary, she is exceptional. Loyalty isn't blind devotion, it's a conscious choice. It's about understanding that relationships go through storms, misunderstandings, setbacks, and sometimes even distance. But a loyal woman keeps her heart committed even when her mind is tired. She doesn't run to the next person when problems arise. She communicates, she tries, she fights for what she loves. Men admire that effort more than anything because life already gives them enough reasons to quit. A woman who chooses to stay becomes his strength. A loyal woman pushes a man to become better without forcing him to change who he is. She stands beside him, not behind him or ahead of him. She sees his potential even when he feels like a failure. Her confidence in him becomes the fuel that makes him keep going. And that feeling that someone believes in you is priceless for a man because loyalty builds trust, and trust builds a connection deeper than looks or charm ever could. But loyalty is not only about staying, it's about staying true. A loyal woman doesn't entertain attention from other men because she already knows who she wants. She protects her relationship from outsiders, from temptations, from negativity. She guards her partner's name in rooms he isn't present in. She does not allow others to disrespect him or their relationship. Her loyalty isn't loud, but it's powerful. Here's the real truth. A man who has faced betrayal values loyalty more than luxury. When he has been disappointed by people he trusted, a loyal woman becomes the safest place in his life. And safety is something every man needs more than anything else. It's not easy to find a woman who will hold your hand through failure and still see greatness in you. So when a man recognizes loyalty in a woman, he values her with all his heart. In a world full of options, a loyal woman is a blessing. She doesn't love for benefits, she loves from the soul. She commits not out of fear of losing someone, but because she knows the worth of building with someone. A loyal woman is a man's peace, his motivation, his partner in every battle, and that makes her one of the rarest treasures he will ever find. Peace. That's what every man is searching for, even if he never says it out loud. The world outside is loud, competitive, stressful, and full of pressure. A man wakes up every day fighting battles no one sees. He is expected to provide, protect, solve problems, and stay strong even when he is breaking inside. So when he chooses a woman, he's not just looking for beauty or excitement. He is looking for peace, not silence, not obedience, not perfection, but peace that makes him feel safe being himself. A woman who brings peace to a man's life becomes someone he never wants to lose. Peace is not about avoiding conversations or pretending everything is okay. It is the way she communicates, the calmness in her voice, the way she understands instead of judging, the way she listens without attacking. It is how she supports him, encourages him, and believes in him when he doubts himself. A man values a peaceful woman because she becomes his calm in chaos. She can turn his worst days into manageable ones simply with her presence. She gives him emotional rest, something the outside world never offers. A peaceful woman knows how to express her feelings without turning every situation into a battlefield. She doesn't compete with him or challenge him to prove his worth. She respects him for who he is and trusts who he is becoming. Her peace isn't weakness or silence. It is maturity. It is choosing love over ego, understanding over assumptions, clarity over conflict. When she disagrees, she communicates with grace. When she is hurt, she speaks with honesty. When he is stressed, she becomes a comfort rather than another source of pressure. Men don't run away from love. They run away from drama, disrespect, and emotional exhaustion. A man who lives in constant arguments or tension will eventually withdraw, even if he deeply loves the woman. But when he finds peace with someone, he will want to come home early. He will want to open up. He will want to give more love in return. Because peace inspires devotion. Peace makes love easier. Peace creates a bond that doesn't break at every little disagreement. A peaceful woman doesn't lose herself trying to keep the peace. She brings peace by staying true to herself. She knows that kindness does not make her weak. She understands that compassion does not make her powerless. She doesn't belittle him to feel powerful. She lifts him to feel united. Her peace builds him up instead of tearing him down. She is not just a partner, but a sanctuary, a place where he can breathe, restart, and feel understood without explaining everything. And that is why men value peace so highly. Because when a man finds peace in a woman, he finds a home in her heart. She becomes the person he wants to protect, prioritize, and commit to for life. Peace is love's greatest gift, and a woman who knows how to give peace becomes irreplaceable. Self-respect is one of the most powerful and attractive qualities a woman can have. It shapes her personality, her decisions, and the way she carries herself in life. A woman with self-respect knows she is valuable, and she never lowers her standards just to be accepted. She does not beg for attention. She does not chase love that isn't willing to meet her halfway, and she doesn't allow anyone to treat her like an option. A man values a woman who respects herself because it shows that she understands her worth, and a woman who understands her worth inspires him to rise to her level. Self-respect isn't arrogance, it's confidence. It is the quiet understanding that she deserves honesty effort, loyalty, and genuine love. A woman with self-respect won't entertain games or mixed signals because she knows confusion is not love. She doesn't waste time trying to prove herself to someone who doesn't appreciate her. She is not afraid to walk away from situations that damage her peace because she knows walking away is sometimes the strongest form of self-love. A man will test the boundaries of your respect, not purposely, but because people always try to understand what they can get away with. A self-respecting woman sets firm boundaries and sticks to them. She doesn't allow disrespect, excuses, or broken promises to be repeated behaviors. When she says no, she means it. When she expects consistency, she holds that expectation. And because she values herself, a real man will value her even more. He knows he needs to show up correctly if he wants a place in her life. Self-respect also means valuing your time and energy. It means not pouring into someone who only drains you. A woman with self-respect chooses relationships that build her, not ones that break her. She knows that she cannot pour from an empty cup, so she takes care of herself first, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. She knows her goals and refuses to let love distract her from her purpose. She believes in her dreams and makes sure the man beside her supports them, not limits them. A man admires a woman who doesn't depend on him for happiness. She chooses him because she wants companionship, not because she needs validation. That difference creates a stronger, healthier love. When a woman respects herself, she also respects her partner. She gives love that is pure, loyal, and supportive, but she never sacrifices her dignity in the process. She knows love should elevate, not shrink, who she is. A woman with self-respect becomes unforgettable to a man. She challenges him to be honest, to be committed, and to grow. She teaches him how to treat her by the way she treats herself. And when a man meets such a woman, he knows he has found someone rare, someone who doesn't just want to be loved, but someone who deserves to be loved with honesty, consistency, and devotion. A good woman isn't defined by how she looks in pictures or how charming she appears in public. She is defined by who she is when no one is watching. Men value a woman whose character remains the same in every situation, loyal behind his back, honest in front of his face, and kind in the moments where she gains nothing in return. True attractiveness isn't about perfection. It's about authenticity. A woman with a real heart, a strong mind, and good intentions becomes unforgettable because she makes a man feel safe and understood in a world that often expects him to be tough and silent. A woman of character doesn't pretend to be someone she's not. She knows her strengths, but she also embraces her flaws. She doesn't hide her emotions to seem strong. She is strong because she understands them. She doesn't live to impress others or follow what the world demands. Instead, she lives by her values, her principles, and her inner strength. A man sees that and knows she is built for a real partnership, not temporary attention. Character shows in how she treats people, not just the ones she cares about, but even strangers. A woman who is gentle with others reflects the softness of her soul. She doesn't speak with cruelty or make others feel small just to appear powerful. She uplifts people, and that energy alone draws a man closer to her. He knows that if she can respect others, she will respect him too. And respect is the foundation of every lasting relationship. A good woman is someone who stands for something. She doesn't allow the world to shape her into someone she is not. She has boundaries, she has morals, and she has discipline. She chooses what is right over what is easy. She knows the value of trust and the importance of keeping promises. When she says she cares, she means it. When she gives her heart, she gives all of it. And that commitment makes a man feel valued, supported, and loved in the deepest way. She doesn't tear a man down to show her strength. She builds with him. She encourages him to grow and supports the vision he is chasing. She wants his success, not his downfall. She becomes a teammate in every sense, celebrating his victories and comforting him in his failures. Her patience becomes his motivation because she believes in the man behind the mistakes, not just the man he shows to the world. Men value a woman like this because she is rare. In a world full of temporary connections, she offers something real. She doesn't just want a relationship, she wants a partnership. She doesn't only love the good parts of a person, she accepts the difficult ones and still chooses to stay loyal. Her character speaks louder than any words could, and that kind of woman makes a man think differently. She makes him want to grow, commit, and never let go of something so genuine. A man will commit to a woman when he feels emotionally safe and trusted, and that is something very few women truly understand. Emotional safety is more than just being physically present. It is about creating an environment where a man can be real, vulnerable, and honest without fear of judgment or rejection. A man carries the weight of responsibilities, expectations, and pressures that most people never see. When he comes home or shares his heart, he needs a woman who listens without criticizing, who understands without overreacting, and who supports without controlling. Emotional safety is rare, and that is why men value women who provide it above almost everything else. Trust goes hand in hand with emotional safety. A woman who can be trusted keeps her word, respects her partner's feelings, and doesn't betray his confidence. She doesn't gossip about his weaknesses. She doesn't manipulate situations to her advantage. And she doesn't question his loyalty at every turn. Instead, she shows through her actions that he can rely on her no matter what. A man senses this authenticity, and it allows him to open up in ways he would never do with someone he doubts. When he knows she is trustworthy, he can be himself, the real him, not the version he pretends to be in front of the world. Commitment is more than a promise. It is a response to the environment a woman creates. Men are naturally protective of their hearts because they have been hurt, disappointed, or misunderstood in the past. They move cautiously, testing the waters to see if the woman in front of them can handle their truth. When she demonstrates patience, understanding, and consistency, she removes the walls around his heart. He begins to feel safe sharing his fears, dreams, and insecurities because he trusts she will not weaponize them or judge him. Emotional safety encourages commitment, and trust sustains it over time. A woman who makes a man feel safe also gives him the confidence to grow. He knows he can fail, try again, and still have her support. Her belief in him becomes a mirror reflecting the best version of himself. She doesn't belittle his mistakes, and she doesn't shame his vulnerabilities. Instead, she empowers him to overcome them. That kind of support is not common, and men recognize it immediately. It draws them in, deepens their feelings, and makes them want to build a future with her. Finally, a man values a woman who trusts him because it allows him to trust himself. He feels free to take responsibility without fear of constant criticism. He feels respected for his decisions, honored for his efforts, and loved for who he truly is. Emotional safety and trust are rare gifts that almost no one can consistently provide. When a woman offers both, she becomes irreplaceable. A man doesn't just want her in his life, he needs her presence, her reassurance, and her loyalty to feel fully committed. That is why a woman who can make a man feel emotionally safe and trusted is not just valued, she is cherished above almost everything else in the world. Or a woman who knows her worth never chases, she attracts. This is one of the most powerful qualities a man can recognize in a woman, and yet it is incredibly rare. In a world full of people seeking validation, attention, and approval, a woman who stands firm in her self-value immediately sets herself apart. She doesn't constantly text, call, or seek reassurance from a man to feel loved or accepted. She understands that her time, her energy, and her heart are valuable, and she will not waste them on anyone who does not treat her accordingly. Men notice this instantly because it shows strength, dignity, and self-respect, traits that cannot be faked and cannot be overlooked. A woman who knows her worth sets boundaries and she enforces them consistently. She does not tolerate disrespect, games, or half-hearted effort. If a man fails to show up, she does not grovel or beg. She walks away, confident that someone who truly values her will meet her standards. This boundary setting is not arrogance, it is clarity. It communicates to a man that she is aware of her value and refuses to settle for anything less than what she deserves. This type of self-assuredness draws men who are serious, mature, and willing to rise to the occasion. A woman who chases attention, by contrast, teaches men that her love is cheap, easy, and replaceable. That is why knowing her worth is not just about self-esteem, it is about attracting the right person and repelling the wrong ones. Knowing her worth also changes how a woman loves. She loves from a place of abundance, not desperation. She gives without losing herself. She cares deeply, but she does not compromise her values, her goals, or her dignity to earn affection. A man sees this and feels both respect and attraction because she is not trying to mold herself to fit his life. She is inviting him into her world on her terms. This approach flips the dynamic of relationships entirely. She is not a follower. She is a partner, equal in her confidence, choices, and expectations.